Welcome back to History in Motion, proudly brought to you by Midas. Expect some tight racing and great battles as the 27-car strong field of Marlboro Crane Hire Historic Saloons classes F to H take to the track. We caught up with Mike O'Sullivan.
Congratulations to Dezzi. Amazing. It's probably the fastest go-kart circuit in the world. Really interesting. It keeps you busy the whole time. Fantastic. Well done, Dezzi. Thank you.
One Alpha. I just like an Alpha. Just because of its Italian style. Love it. And just love racing it. I've raced for years, enjoyed it, and will continue to do it as long as I possibly can.
Quentin Willis qualified in pole position, followed by Wayne Lotter and Mike O'Sullivan. Steve Herman is the quickest of the Class G cars, and Johan Prince in 10th is the fastest Class F car, just 0.02 of a second ahead of Jacques Morstad. Over the start line, Quentin Willis leads the field and the race has begun. Willis in the Midas liveried Ford Escort pulls away comfortably at the front. Behind him, Wayne Lotter stays ahead of the BMW 2002 of Mike O'Sullivan. Brett Maurice in the white and blue panel right Ford Escort runs a bit wide into turn one, as does the Motorbody Constructions Mercedes-Benz of Ian Morgan, both drivers losing position and momentum. On board with Jacques Morstad as he chases down the red Alpha, Willem Fonk ahead of him. Fonk pushing hard and beginning to put some pressure onto Brett Maurice. Through the left-hander and round the hairpin they go. Nice and smooth as Morstad tries to hold onto the back of Fonk. Not so smooth for Harry Lombard though, who has pulled it to the side of the track and will go no further in this race. Neither will the BMW of Mike O'Sullivan. Further back in the field, and Fanny Kloppers in the blue Mercedes 280 leads the battle between Grant Trutter and Les McLeod. Trutter with the inside line takes the position as they make their way to the corkscrew and now has Kloppers in his sights. But McLeod hasn't given up just yet. Back with Jacques Morstad, and there is a fantastic battle going on in front of him. Marius Frevet dives down the inside of Willem Fonk and manages to get past as they make their way through the complex and onto the main straight. Morstad getting a little crossed up as he exits the left-hander. He keeps it together though and pushes after Fonk. Fonk keeps the power down and moves ahead of Frevet. Morstad tries to follow through as well and hugs the inside line as they head into turn one. Frevet runs wide and loses out. Coming through the S's, the number 49 of George Adolis looks to be running slowly. Behind him is the Alpha of Paul Manigault with John Martin at the wheel. Martin passes Adolis and Rion de Roux in his Ford Prefect is not far behind. Definite issues there and Adolis will pull into the pits. Fanny Kloppers meanwhile is caught up to Rion de Roux and watches as the MGB of Les McLeod passes the Ford Prefect. Round the open right-hand sweep they go and Kloppers passes the slowing Prefect of de Roux. A few corners later and Rion de Roux is pulling into the pits with his Prefect, hoping to fix his problems and rejoin the race. Monte Snell in the bright green Ford Anglia takes the inside line as he hunts down Cecil Bishop in the blue and white machine. Nell keeps his foot flat and moves ahead of Bishop as the pair drop down into the corkscrew. Marius Frevet flies past Jacques Morstad as Morstad makes his way into the pits, his car overheating due to his fan belt coming off. Hubi van Moltke runs side by side up the hill with Marco Frevet and Nikita Nell, who is right behind the pair. The Mercedes has the inside line and makes it count as Frevet is forced to go around the outside in the little Fiat. Into the left-hander, and van Moltke will be heavy on the brakes as he steers his battleship through and onto the main straight. Ian Morgan seems to be comfortable with the track as he steers his Mercedes through the corkscrew. Morstad pushing hard in his Datsun GX Coupe tries to close in on Willem Forster. Fanny Kloppers pushing hard in his Merc has the leaders coming up to lap him. Through goes Mike Green with Brett Maurice hot on his heels. Round turn one they race and Marius Frevet has dived down the inside of Maurice and moved ahead. Up the hill and Brett Maurice fights back and powers past Frevet on his left. Kloppers moves up the inside of Frevet, but Frevet keeps the power down and chases after Maurice. Great driving from the pair as they head into the corkscrew. Frevet is going to have his work cut out to get past Maurice again as the Escort leads the Datsun up through the left-hander and into the hairpin. Yellow flags out and it's Les McLeod who has pulled over and retired the MGB on the outside of the hairpin. Through the final complex, and the battle for third has come up on some back markers. Mike Green leads them. Brett Maurice looks for a way past John Martin, and this has allowed Marius Fave to close in. Into the left-hander, and Martin goes wide, giving Maurice and Fave plenty of room to get by and continue their battle. The checkered flag is out, and the battle for third comes racing to the line. The Ford Escort of Wayne Lotter takes second place ahead of the Alpha of Mike Green, who managed to hold on to third, and Brett Maurice came in ahead of Marius Fave. Quentin Willis had a comfortable victory in his Ford Escort. Confirmation of the results, and it was Quentin Willis with the race win and Class F victory. Ian Morgan in his Mercedes-Benz took Class G, while in Class H, Rion Deroux managed to get his Ford Prefect running again and took Class victory.
You know, we can all go fast in straight lines, but this track is a bit tricky, so you've got to have your wits about yourself.
So it was Escort Alpha, Escort Datsun, and we gave it horns, but we just went for it.
It's very easy to block around this track. So the guy was dancing with the Alpha in front of me, Mark Green. We had an awesome scrap together. So there was a Datsun behind me, and he managed to outbrake me going down the main straight. But then climbing up the hill again, he was obviously off the boil. I managed to go around the outside just by keeping the line and the pace up the corner. So I think if you carry good corner speed and the other guys scrub it off, you do have the potential then to overtake.
Down the main straight, the field accelerate. Quentin Willis quick on the power, and a great start for him. Behind him, Wayne Lotter manages to keep in touch, with Mike Green hanging on not far off. Maurice, Fave and Fong filter through. Jacques Morstadt follows the red and white Alfa Romeo GT of Jan Jacobs through turn 1 and up the hill. Matthijs Snell is not wasting any time as he moves his Anglia up the inside of Colin Keane in the big Mercedes-Benz 280E. Keane has more power though and puts it to use as he moves ahead of Nell. Behind them, the other Mercedes with Hubi van Moltke at the wheel has the Fiat of Marco Fave alongside him. These two have had a great battle in race 1 and they seem to have picked up where they left off. Over the bridge, and Mike Green leads Brett Maurice and Marius Fave. Into the right-hander, Maurice makes his move and goes past Green. Fantastic pass there from Maurice. Up the hill, and Fave closes right in on Green. Into the complex, and Fave takes the inside line. Green forced to take the outside line, and Fave cruises past. This has allowed Fong to close up right behind on Green. Further back, Ian Morgan in the Mercedes-Benz leads Jacques Morstadt, who had to start at the back after retirement in race 1. Morstadt pushing hard to make his way through the field. Into the complex, Morstadt takes the inside line, and the Mercedes and Datsun run side by side through the big right-hander. Morstadt manages to edge away and leads Morgan onto the main straight. Coming up to the blind right-hander, at the top of the track, Jacques Morstadt has closed right in on Dad Morsi Morstadt. Ian Morgan is right behind the pair of Datsuns. Into the corkscrew, father leads son. Jacques has a look to the right. Ian Morgan has taken the inside line on the left. Through the left-hander, and Morsi Morstadt is swamped by Jacques and Morgan as they run 3 abreast into the hairpin. Great driving by all 3. Wayne Lotter leads Brett Maurice and Marius Fave down the hill to the big right-hand sweep. A great battle going on for second place between these 3. Further back, John Martin leads the battle of Rion Deroux and Fani Kloppers through the corkscrew and round the hairpin. Deroux having a look down the inside of Martin as they exit the hairpin, but he can't make it stick. Over the bridge and into the S's come Colin Keane and Harry Lombard. Smoke streaming out of Lombard's Beetle as Keane powers past. Lombard is still pushing, but not for much longer as he pulls over and retires the Beetle. It has not been the best of days for Lombard. Quentin Willis leads the field, and behind him the battle for second wages on. Into turn 1, and Fave moves ahead of Maurice. Maurice looks to have a problem with his bonnet though as it flaps around. Undoubtedly this will have distracted Maurice and made it a little easier for Fave to find a way past. Marius Fave has put the power down and is closing in on Wayne Lotter as they head into the hairpin. Up the hill, Johan Prince pulls up on the inside of Colin Keane. Through the right-hander, and Prince makes the move stick as he drops into the corkscrew. Matej Snell leads Marco Fave and Nikita Nell down the hill to the big sweep at the lowest point of the track. Marco Fave dives down the inside of Nell, and they run side by side through the right-hander. Down the short straight and into the left-hander. Nell has the inside line and moves ahead of Fave. Nikita Nell, meanwhile, has managed to close in on the pair slightly while they battle it out. Brett Maurice is out of his car and trying to pin down his flapping bonnet. Hopefully he's got it right. Quentin Willis, meanwhile, is making his way past John Martin as he continues to lead the race. He has had a very consistent drive up at the front. It looks like Brett Maurice's running repairs haven't worked as his bonnet continues to flap around. It looks like it has got wedged now, and this will be severely obscuring his vision. Down the main straight comes Quentin Willis, and the checkered flag will be waiting for him as he takes a double victory on the day. Wayne Lotter manages to fend off Marius Fave by 0.7 of a second and comes home in second place. Mike Green took a lonely 4th place. Willem Vonk took 5th place, less than a second ahead of Willem Forster. Ian Morgan won Class G and Rion Darude took Class H honours.
I was fortunate enough to have a good start, and yeah, I thought, well, if I can stay ahead of the chasing pack, because I knew there were some fast guys behind me. But anyway, I managed to stay up in front there, and the car held together. But I must be honest, towards the end, I was getting very worried because the oil pressure had started to drop rather low. And I kept thinking, come on, let this be the last lap, please.
I think at some stage I got tapped on the back. I don't know if my back wheel's on the air because I didn't have much traction. And then I saw Marius came up and the little Escort disappear again. The bonnet was flapping a bit. And then I saw the Escort was back. Overtook Marius. So again, the guys really kept me honest today. Made me work for my beer.
We're having an absolute ding-dong battle the whole way around the track. I mean, I was gripping. The adrenaline was pumping. I don't know if I got a little bit excited or if he flat spotted coming out onto the start-finish straight, and I just hit him up the rear. Unfortunately, that broke the pin in the front of my bonnet, so I ended up spending about 3 laps with my bonnet flapping up over the windscreen. Eventually, I got jammed halfway, and me being a shorty, I couldn't see. I battled to see through my steering wheel, never mind through the bonnet. So I pulled over at the end of the start-finish straight. Did my best to get the bonnet into place, but with the adrenaline pumping, I missed the hole completely to slot the bonnet into. And then I did another half a lap, and I stopped for my pit crew to pull the bonnet out. But it was an unfortunate racing incident. Like I said, it was one of the best. It was a fantastic race. I loved every second of it.
Quick question. How many feet of elevation changes are on Dezzi Raceway? Find out after the break.
Join us after the break for more action from the Midas Historic Tour.